Hey everyone, welcome back to the last screencast, and this is probably the one that I am most excited about. We are going to be talking about a wonderful Web 2.0 tool on how to locate, research, and utilize primary resources. Now, just to give you a brief overview, a primary resource is anything that is firsthand. So a first-hand resource of a historical event. It can be an unpublished material, an unpublished manuscript. It can be photographs, maps, artifacts, audio and video recording, so an audio recording of a speech given by a president, or it could be postcards, political posters. Anything that is an original first-hand account is what we will consider a primary resource. And so the last tool I'm going to show you about is called RDocs. So you're just going to go to Google and type in RDocs, and it is the first one that comes up on that search. And what this is 100 milestone documents in American history. And this is put on by the National Archives. This is a very credible source. As you come right here, it gives you a brief little about what it is. 100 milestone documents from the National Archives is filled with photos and info on all 100 documents. And so what this is a source that includes 100 of the most historic, relevant documents in American history. So we're going to come over here to navigate and click on 100 milestone documents. And this is going to pull up a complete list of documents, of these 100 documents, with a brief little explanation of what they are. So just to show you an example, as you saw in the previous screencast using Galileo, what you would see was a typed up version of a presidential speech. But this is what you get on RDocs. We're going to click on President George Washington's first inaugural speech. Double click on it, and you can see his actual handwriting. Fellow citizens of the Senate and the House of Representatives. So this is George Washington's inaugural speech that he wrote in his own hand, signed by J.G. Washington. So this really, really puts the students back in that time, back when this was written. They can see the paper, they can see the date, they can see the handwriting of the person at the time. It really does bring them back into that time. And next year, there is going to be a huge push for primary resources to be used in social studies classes, ELA classes, and even science classes. So this is a wonderful resource, especially for social studies teachers, to utilize in the classroom. So I'm going to show you a great resource on this website, and it is under Tools for Educators. So you're going to come under the Navigate button and click Tools for Educators. And then there's all different kind of stuff here, but we're going to focus on classroom integration. And what this has is different ideas on how you can integrate the documents into classroom instruction. So a focus activity, a brainstorming activity, and there's even a link up here at the top where you can click Meeting Standards. And this shows you how the use of these documents can meet the different standards. Standards for social studies, history, civics and government, geography standards. And you can even click on Ideas for Librarians, and it gives you all different options for ways that these documents can be used in the Media Center. Then I was very excited about giving the instruction on this and creating the online module for the use of primary resources was that I was able to utilize this site, RDocuments, back in grad school to create a s'more. So a s'more is basically an online flyer, and I have it linked up here. So I created this s'more, this flyer, on Hawaii, the annexation, and Pearl Harbor, and I used primary sources for the presentation of the information I learned. So as you can see right here, Queen Liliuokalani's Royal Standard. This was the Queen's royal flag when she was queen from 1838 to 1917. And then down here we have some primary sources that I used. So this document right here was the resolution of the annexation. So this was specifically signed by President McKinley, and what this did was annexed the Republic of Hawaii to the United States territory. So that's that document. This one right here was actually a typed and signed letter by the Queen protesting the annexation. So you can actually see her handwriting as she signed it and her words as she typed it up. It says, "To the House of Representatives of the United States." And then this one too is a map. So again, like I said earlier, this is a great primary source is a map. And this was drafted specifically back in 1886. And two of the ones that stick out most to me is this Naval Dispatch. As you can see right here, it's kind of blurry, but it says air raid on Pearl Harbor - this is not a drill. So this was the actual Naval Dispatch that was sent to Washington when Pearl Harbor was under attack. And if you scroll down more, there's the Declaration of War written by FDR. And then a military poster, a propaganda poster about above and beyond the call of duty. This was celebrating this soldier, this naval officer, Dory, who was celebrated for his bravery during the Pearl Harbor attacks. And then I just have them linked below. So this is just one example of how you as an educator or you as a student can use primary resources in your social studies courses or even your science courses. So we're going to go back to our documents, and I just want to show you one cool thing that they have. They have all the documents linked up here at the top, and while you're pursuing the website down here, it is scrolling through the different 100 documents, and you can come up here and move your cursor along and see all the different documents. So we're going to click on this one, Jefferson's secret message to Congress regarding the Lewis and Clark expedition. And so we clicked on this document, and we're going to scroll down. It's going to give a brief info about this document and about the background behind it. So this was a secret message that President Jefferson asked Congress for $2,500 to explore the West, all the way to the Pacific Ocean. So this is his handwritten letter to Congress asking for permission to explore all the way to the Pacific Ocean. So that concludes this screencast of the wonderful tool, Our Documents, and I really hope that y'all explore this site further, go into some of these links that I didn't have time to explore, and see ways that you can incorporate primary resources into your curriculum and into your projects. Because as I said, the 2017-2018 standards are going to have more stricter requirements for students using primary resources in their research and assignments. Thank y'all so much for viewing this online module, and please move on to the next tab where you will learn about the wonderful Web 2.0 tool of Quizlet Live.